I'd like to introduce a couple new 3 different boards that I made. These boards are used in conjunction with Splat controllers. That's a company out of Australia, and they have a series of control boards that I use. It's MMI 201, MMI 202, and MMI 203. These boards, I call them bridge boards. They're designed to bridge the Splat connectors and give you instant field-ready connections. So let me demonstrate what I mean. Now, what you're looking at here is a Splat control board. It's kind of an all-in-one deal. You have different buttons. You can have the user interface, and you have some LEDs here, and you've got a display. But on the back side of this board, this is where you need to be able to connect your field wiring, and through these headers right here. But in order to do that, you've got to get, special pinout headers, and then those wires have to go over to somewhere else in your machine where your relays and your input interfaces are at. So what I decided to do was to create something that you could just pop on those headers and actually bridge the control board, and at the same time have your field connections. So I'm going to demonstrate to you how simple this is. All you have to do is line up the headers on left and right side to the corresponding pins and push the board onto the pins. And what we've just done is, another thing I did is this board right here is a power converter. It's going to take a 24 volt, let's see if I can get a better picture here, 24 volt AC power in, and it's going to give out the required Splat controller power, which is 12 to 24 volts DC. So this whole end right here, this conditions or converts the 24 volts AC, which is a common transformer, and convert that to the required 12 to 24 volts DC. Now, in addition to that, what I've done is I've created a place for field wiring. These are 10 amp relays right here. So you want to turn something on, that up to 5 amps or so, you just field wire them right up to these push-in connectors. And also, because we bridged the other part of the board, this is where your inputs go. If you have a dry contacts like on a door switch or a pump limit switch or something, they would actually hook up here on the push-ins. So by simply pushing this one board on, I have taken a controller that requires 12 to 24 volts DC. I've made it so that it can take a 24 volt AC, which is standard in, for instance, the HVAC industry, and also got it field wired ready for the inputs and outputs. Now the MMI series controllers from Splat, they allow to have 8 inputs and 8 outputs. So I created another board that we can bridge these 2 headers to get us field ready connectors for both the input and outputs of the Splat board. By simply snapping that board on, I am now capable of having 8 outputs and 8 inputs. So I've taken the liberty off camera to go ahead and hook up 24 volts AC. Okay, and what it's doing, this is converting it to 18 volts. So on this pin out here now, you're going to have the 18 volts DC that's required by this Splat board. Now, as you can see, let me turn off the light here. As you can see, maybe it's better with the light on, the controller is on. Now, I've set this controller up to fire all the outputs in series. So listen to this. As you see, the LEDs there, that's showing you that the controller is firing all the relays on the back. And again, you can field connect these right now and turn stuff off and on. So I'd just like to reiterate, by simply snapping these two different bridge boards on, you're field ready to wire this controller up to any application you may have.